Linux Mint has 3.2 million users and an 18-year track record. Pop! OS shipped a brand new desktop 2 months ago, written from scratch in Rust, and it already has bugs that eat through your memory while you sleep. Both are free, both are built on Ubuntu, both will run the same software, the same games, and hit the same frame rates once you get past initial setup. But these two could not disagree more about what a computer should feel like. Mint thinks your desktop should look and behave like Windows, because that is what people already know. Pop! OS thinks your desktop should tile windows automatically, respond to keyboard shortcuts, and stay out of your way entirely. One has been polished for nearly 2 decades, the other has been alive for 8 weeks, and the real question is whether you trust the proven option or the one betting everything on a new programming language. Linux Mint has been around since 2006. It was built by Clement Lefebvre with a philosophy that has not shifted once in nearly 2 decades. Make Linux feel familiar, keep it stable, and let the user stay in control. What that means in practice is a desktop called Cinnamon that looks and behaves like a traditional Windows layout. Taskbar along the bottom, start menu on the left, system tray on the right, desktop icons if you want them. Anyone who has used a computer in the last 20 years can sit down in front of Mint and start working without reading a single guide. The latest release, version 22.3, arrived in January 2026, built on Ubuntu 24.04 long-term support. That means security updates and support through to 2029. It ships with LibreOffice, Firefox, Thunderbird, video codecs, and a complete set of tools ready from first boot. Timeshift is pre-installed for system snapshots, meaning you can roll back if an update causes problems. The community around Mint is genuinely enormous. 3.2 million Cinnamon users as of 2025. Number 1 on Distro Watch, forums where virtually every problem you could encounter has already been asked and answered, often multiple times, but Mint is also honest about what it is. It does not chase cutting-edge features, updates are conservative, tested thoroughly before release, and the user decides when to apply them. If you want the newest kernel, the newest display technology, or a desktop that rethinks how you interact with Windows, Mint is not trying to give you that. What it gives you instead is the confidence that everything will still work tomorrow, exactly like it worked today. For a lot of people switching from Windows, that matters more than anything else on this list. Pop! OS was created in 2017 by System76, an American company that builds and sells Linux hardware. For years it was essentially Ubuntu, with a modified version of the GNOME desktop, some gaming tweaks, and better NVIDIA support out of the box. It was good, but it was not fundamentally different from what anyone else was doing. Then in 2021, System76 announced they were throwing all of that away and building an entirely new desktop from scratch. Written in Rust, not based on GNOME, not borrowing from anyone. 3 years of development later, on the 11th of December 2025, they shipped it. They called it Cosmic. Cosmic changes what Pop! OS actually is. Instead of a traditional desktop with a taskbar and a start menu, you get automatic window tiling where the system arranges your windows for you as you open them. Keyboard shortcuts drive the entire experience. Press the super key and a launcher appears where you can search for applications, run calculations, or search the web directly. Windows can be stacked into tab groups like browser tabs. Workspaces transition smoothly between each other. The whole thing is designed for people who want speed, not familiarity. But Cosmic is 2 months old. That matters. Users have reported memory usage climbing to 2.5 gigabytes on a cold boot, with panel applets consuming around 33 megabytes each. One user on a 4 gigabyte system called it approaching unusable. System76 has acknowledged these issues and started shipping optimizations. But the reality is that anyone installing Pop! OS right now is beta testing a desktop environment that has not had time to mature. The trade-off is real though. Pop! OS also ships separate installer images for NVIDIA users with proprietary drivers pre-configured from first boot. It includes full disk encryption in the installer rather than just home directory encryption. It creates a recovery partition automatically, meaning if something goes wrong, you can reinstall without losing your files. And for gaming, that NVIDIA setup alone removes the single biggest friction point that trips up new Linux users. The gaming comparison between these two comes down to a single question. How much setup are you willing to do? Pop! OS hands you an NVIDIA image with drivers already working. you install, you reboot, you open Steam. On Mint, you install, you open the driver manager, you select the NVIDIA proprietary driver, you reboot, then you open Steam. That extra step is not difficult, but it is where beginners get stuck, especially if their first boot needs a display compatibility workaround to even reach the desktop. Once both are configured, the performance is identical. Same drivers, same Proton compatibility layer, same frame rates. One user on the Mint forums put it bluntly: gaming distributions are nonsense. If everything is set up correctly, there should be no difference between them. And they are right. Where the gap widens is hardware. Mint runs comfortably on machines with 2 GB of memory. The lighter desktop options, Mate and XFCE, bring idle usage down to around 400 to 600 megabytes. That means 10-year-old laptops, budget desktops, and hand-me-down machines all work without complaint. Pop! OS with Cosmic wants at least 4 GB, and even that feels tight given the current memory situation. 8 is the honest recommendation. If your hardware is older or lower spec, this is not a close call. On newer machines, Pop! OS offers advantages Mint does not. Hybrid graphics, switching for laptops with both integrated and NVIDIA cards. Built-in power profiles for battery management. One user reported 4 hours on Mint versus 7 on Pop! OS with the same laptop, specifically because of how each handles power. Then there is community, and this is where Mint's age becomes its greatest asset. 18 years of forum posts means almost any problem you will encounter already has a documented solution. Pop! OS has a smaller, more developer-focused community, backed by System76's own support team. But if you hit an obscure bug with Cosmic, you might be the first person to report it. That gap is the difference between finding an answer in 10 minutes and waiting days for one. The honest answer is that for the vast majority of people considering Linux for the first time, Mint is the safer choice. Not because Pop! OS is bad, because Cinnamon has had 15 years to sand down its rough edges, and Cosmic has had 8 weeks. Mint is the distribution you recommend to a parent, a student on a budget laptop, or anyone who just wants a computer that works without demanding their attention. It does not innovate, it does not surprise you, it does not break. And that forum community means you will never be stuck on a problem alone. Pop! OS is the distribution you recommend to someone who already knows they want more. If you have an NVIDIA card and want to skip the driver dance entirely, Pop! OS removes that barrier before you even reach the desktop. If you are a developer who works across multiple windows and wants the system to arrange them automatically, Cosmic's tiling is genuinely useful once you learn the shortcuts. If you care about full disk encryption or a recovery partition as a safety net, those are built into the installer. But you are also signing up for a desktop that is still finding its feet. Memory optimizations are ongoing. Features are still being added. The extension and theming ecosystem that Cinnamon has built over 15 years simply does not exist yet for Cosmic. System76's own chief executive described the release as leaping forward a decade, and that is probably accurate. But leaping forward also means landing somewhere that has not been fully mapped. Both of these are free. Both run on live USB sticks without installing anything. The smartest thing you can do is try them both on your actual hardware and see which one fits the way you work. Your machine and your workflow will tell you more than any comparison ever could. Every choice is a trade-off. At least now you know what you're trading.